In this video, I'm going to tell you 5 reasons why you might want to get the Sony A7R III instead of the Sony A9 for wildlife and nature photography. Alrighty, so it's Friday, and that means 5 for Friday. I often get asked, which camera should I get in the Sony full frame camera range for wildlife and nature photography? A lot of people have heard about the Sony A9 and the fact that it's great for wildlife because it has fantastic autofocus and really high burst rates, and you can shoot silently with it. And those are all definitely good reasons to get the A9. However, the A7R III has some advantages too, and if you're only going to get one of these cameras, perhaps it's the one that you should get right now. And let's talk about the 5 reasons why. So the first one is a pretty obvious one, and that is resolution. The R in A7R III stands for resolution. The A7R III has 42 megapixels versus the 24 megapixels of the Sony A9. And that's quite a lot. It's basically almost double. And that means that you can blow up the image larger with the A7R III, and you also have more flexibility to crop in post. And especially if you shoot, for example, with primes like I do, and you can't zoom with the lens, being able to crop in post is important. And also is a way for you to get more reach as well without using a teleconverter on the lens or using a crop body. So resolution is number 1. Number 2 is image quality. So the A7R III has better image quality according to the DxOMark scores for the sensor versus the A9. It not only has more resolution, but it has greater color depth, greater dynamic range, better low light capability. The A7R III is one of the few full frame cameras to rate 100 on the sensor score on DxOMark. The only other cameras that rate higher than that are medium format cameras right now. So image quality is number 2. Number 3 is animal eye autofocus. So the A9 does have better focusing capabilities than the A7R III. The A7R III autofocus is pretty good too, but the A9 is better for tracking faster moving subjects. But right now, the A7R III has animal eye autofocus. It already received that capability in a firmware update. The A9 firmware update with animal eye autofocus is coming soon, in a few months, but we don't have it yet. I've been using the A7R III with animal eye autofocus to photograph grizzly bears recently and foxes, and it's worked great. And that's one of the reasons I often reach for it over the A9. So animal eye autofocus is another reason. The other reason, or another reason, is simply price. The A7R III is not as expensive as the A9. Right now in Canada, the A9 is almost double the price of the A7R III. That's a lot. In the US right now, at least at B&H, the A9 is $1,000. No, it's $900 US more than the A7R III. And here's the thing, and this gets us to the 5th reason. Right now, the A7R III has a discount at B&H of $600 US. The A9 has a discount of $1,000 US. This may be an indication that Sony will be releasing a new version of the A9 soon, and that has been the rumor for some time, that in time for the 2020 Olympics, Sony will release a new version of the A9. And that may be a reason for you not to get the A9 now. If you're only going to get one of these cameras, the A7R III may be the way to go. And then if you want another camera, and if you want something especially that is really good for fast-moving wildlife, get the new version of the A9 when that comes out, or get the current version of the A9 if they're still selling that, or if you can find stock at a greatly reduced price. So there you go, 5 reasons to get the A7R III over the A9 for wildlife and nature photography. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. Post below if you've got any comments or questions, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.